Hello and welcome back. My name is Sam and welcome to my little booktube channel. I today have for you a little tag video. This was created by Curious Cat and Ellen Made Book Club. This is the Would You Rather book tag. I'm very excited. I have only read 2 of the 16, I think, questions. We're gonna go through this. We're gonna talk about how I feel towards these prompts and see if we have any hot takes. The first would you rather is never read more than 1 book from an author, including like no rereads allowed, or only read books from your favorite author or another author of your choice. Now, this one feels like a given. I would rather read 1 book from every author ever because there's a plethora of many things to choose from and I will find new authors and 5 stars from more people. I would rather broaden my reach and be able to experiment and try more things and like not be stuck in the same genre with the same author all the time. Because as much as like, for example, I love Erin A. Craig, one of my favorite authors, I've read every single book they've published. Like I've read them all. And as much as I have like reread them and enjoy them, I don't want to live in those worlds forever. I want to experience and taste new things and dabble around different genres. I can't be so tied down to just like one author, especially like an author like that. Like she's got 5 books out. I know at least 2 or 3 that are going to be coming out in the next couple of years. But even then, I'd have to be just like sitting here waiting for that and have only those to read. No. I simply couldn't do it. I guess maybe if like you chose one author who had like if I just chose Terry Pratchett, Discworld guy. If I only chose him, like there's so many books to read. So I guess in that sense, that could work. Like if I chose Brandon Sanderson, like there's a lot of world to experience, a lot of books that I could go back and read because I've barely touched his catalog. But at the same time, do I like Brandon Sanderson that much to only ever read his books? No, I don't. So I think I would rather just like read 1 book from every author that's ever existed because I'll never run out of people. But I will run out of books, you know? The next one is, would you rather read a book with an unlikable main character or your favorite character dies? That's so hard because like both things are fair and valid in books. I find that often, and this has happened with a good amount of recent reads, guys, where a character dies and then they are resurrected and death has no true meaning. Death is not final. Death doesn't mean anything in this world. It's just a gut punch to make you feel something and then go, oopsie daisies, just kidding. I don't mean it, because the authors are also attached to the characters. So I find that I don't mind character death if it's meaningful, if there's a purpose to it, and if it's not going to just get taken back like right away. Like I just want it to be impactful for the plot, for the stories, for the characters. And as painful as it is when a favorite character dies, like we've all had those moments that we can clearly remember crying over. Those are impactful and I don't dislike them. It sucks, but like I also understand I'm reading a fictional world, so it's okay. But sometimes a book with an unlikable main character is interesting. But I recently read Futility where all of the characters are so unlikable that I couldn't get through it. So I think I would rather have a favorite character die and just, like be sad and then, continue on than be forced to stick with main characters that are so unlikable, like Futility, where you're just like, I can't be in the same room with you. I'm so sorry. You are actually insufferable and I can't do it. A lot of the times, an unlikable main character doesn't bother me, and I think it's fine, and I can still enjoy a story. But recently, that's not the case, so I think I'd have to go with, I'd rather my character die. Oh no! Okay, would you rather start your library from scratch, but you can't rebuy any of the books that are on your shelves, or never be allowed to add a new book to it? That's so tricky, because I obviously, I haven't read every book in my library. I have hundreds of books. I love collecting books. I have books that are on my shelves that I want to read and procrastinate because they're going to be there until I say they're not anymore. Whereas library books are, hot potatoes. You get it when you get it and then you have to get rid of it. So I find that I don't reach for the things on my physical shelves as much, but I still keep buying books. But I'm often reading the books that I recently purchased. So I don't know. Because it's like, do I really want to get rid of my special editions? Like I've been gifted the most beautiful special editions for The Legend of Thesmar. Do I want to give those up? I don't think so. I think truly if my house burnt down, which will never happen, knock on wood, not gonna happen, but I think if my house burnt down and I lost all of my books, I would probably stop collecting books to the same degree. Like, not to be like anti-consumerist, because I will still be consuming plenty of things. I will still be buying just as much crap because I am materialistic in that way of like, I like treating myself to things that I enjoy and I like having, even if it is a temporary happiness, looking at my books on a shelf genuinely just makes me smile. Like, this makes me happy. So I don't regret buying all of these books. But I do think that if I lost all of my books, I probably wouldn't buy nearly as many special editions. I would probably scale back and try to aim for more of like a trophy shelf situation. But that's just also not who I am at my core. So I think I would rather keep all the books on my shelves and not buy a new book. I'll probably change my mind about that when I'm editing this. I'll probably go back and forth every day. So the answer will always change. But I do want to read the books on my shelves. I'm very happy with the shelves that I've curated thus far. Like, I've been collecting books seriously for 5 years now. And I would say that I've probably read anywhere from 20 to 40% of them. And I'm satisfied with them. And there's a lot of books that I would love to get rid of. But I am happy with the books that I have. And I would like to read more of them. So I'm going to stick with that answer. Good answer, good answer. The next would you rather is have your favorite author never publish anything new or only publishes bad books from now on. Now here's the thing. Erin A. Craig recently came out with her adult debut. And do I think that was a 5-star gem? Not quite. So do I want my favorite authors to only write bad books? Absolutely not. I truly think that I would stop reading them and they wouldn't be favorite authors anymore. So I would have to go with my favorite author stops publishing books. Why? Because that happens so often. One author that I actually rather enjoyed was the author of Mirage. I got this in 2018 from Owlcrate, and I just recently read it this year. I actually finished the duology. Initially, this was supposed to be a trilogy. This author vanished from the face of the earth. There is no more books. They're done. And although this wasn't a 5-star favorite, I still enjoyed it enough that, like, I would happily read more from this author, but they're just gone. And I think that happens more often than anybody realizes because millions of books are constantly being published and not every author is going to have that big break. Not every author is going to sell more than 500 copies and they're not going to make enough income from this to be like a sustainable forever job. Like, writing books is often going to be kind of a hobby in some ways and a lot more work that you have to put in, especially if you're not going the traditionally published route or can't get a book deal. Like, there's so many things that go into it. So I think I would rather my favorite author just stop because there's always going to be more people. But if my favorite author just started publishing slop, I would be so disappointed and sad, and honestly, I'd probably get a little bit heated about it. I don't think I'd be chill. So I think I would rather them just stop if they run out of ideas or if they like lost their creative juices. Just call it quits. It's okay. I understand it's your job, but like, there's other jobs. I would rather you not publish horrifically bad books just to, sell a book. I would rather it be good. So that is my final answer. Okay, next we've got read only one of your favorite genres or read as widely as you want except in that one genre. Now here's the thing. My primary genres, I've always said, are fantasy and horror. And depending on how you look at it, Goodreads classifies romantasy as its own genre category now. Technically, romantasy is a subgenre of fantasy, so like it just depends on like how you want to look at it. Fantasy is my favorite genre though. Like, whether romantasy is a part of it or not, that is still going to be my favorite genre, and to never pick up fantasy again might kill me. I love horror, don't get me wrong, but I can also read a lot of fantasy that is horror. Like, if we really want to like stretch it, like realistically, fantasy is kind of just speculative fiction, which is like a never-ending genre. So I think I would stick with it. I'd say that speculative is my favorite. I'm bending so many rules, but like, I would stick with fantasy. There's going to be horror inside of fantasy. There's going to be romance inside of fantasy. There's going to be sci-fi inside of fantasy. Like, it's just such a blanket umbrella genre at this point that I could pick up so many things and it would be worth sticking with. If I never read a singular contemporary romance again, I would be content. Okay, the next, would you rather be stranded forever on a deserted island with a full library or live in a society but books have disappeared? Girl, I'm already a recluse. I'm already a little hermit in her house. I already live in a deserted house with my books. I don't need to socialize. I don't need society. I don't need capitalism. I just need books. I'll be fine. I would prefer, being on a deserted island with my phone so I can watch YouTube. I don't need to talk to anybody. I don't need social media. I just want to watch YouTube. I don't even care about like streaming things, just watching BookTube so I can, make some orders, maybe get some more books into the library that I will someday finish if that's all I had to do. And as long as the deserted island comes with a bathroom, a toilet that can flush, and a means of never-ending food that I do not have to hunt for myself, piece of cake. Now, that's not specified in the deserted island, so it's like, what are the rules of the island? Is it a survivor situation, or is it like you're fine, you just don't socialize with people? Because here's the thing. No one's gonna like this hot take, but realistically, like, I would be fine if books never existed, but because they do, I don't know if I would feel that loss if they were gone presently. But if in 100 years books don't exist whatsoever and it's all just technology and AI, I don't think you would feel the loss as deeply. Hard to say because we're not in that currently, thank God. But like, I would feel the loss if books were not existed. But if I lived in a society where books had never existed and I hadn't known the concept of a book and we just had AI slop to exist off, I wouldn't know any better. I wouldn't know any different. So, like, it is hard to say, but I guess I would pick the island unless I have to do survival stuff. Then I would live in a society and just, like, take the L, because I am a city girl at my heart and I can't survive. If a zombie apocalypse is happening, I'm the first to go. I've told everybody in my life that if it happens, carry me, keep me along for as long as it's manageable. But once, like, food rations are gone or things get dire, you can take me out. I don't need to be there for all of it. I really don't. It's not for me. I am not. No. Just no. The next Would You Rather prompts seem to be a little bit more genre-based. So, sci-fi fantasy. Would you rather read only 5 series, but they're unfinished, or read only thick standalones with a bunch of info dumping? Info dumping can be done well, depending on the craft, but often is a derogative term because it's just annoying to be info dumped so poorly. Thick books intimidate the hell out of me, but I do love a standalone. I've become more of a series girl over the years, but at my core, I do love a standalone. It's just satisfying having it all right there. Only read 5 unfinished series? Or read only a bajillion standalones that exist forever? Like, what do you mean only 5? That doesn't make any sense. The reason this is easy for me, like, the reason I would pick the thick standalones with info dumping is, like, I can get over it. The reason I have not picked up the book I can't remember the name of. I know the second one's The Wise Man's Fear. What's the first one? Name of the Wind. There we have it. The reason I've yet to pick up The Name of the Wind is because it's an unfinished series. Like, I feel like I would have an easier time picking up Game of Thrones knowing that there's a chance it won't be finished because there's 5 books and whatever. Whereas Name of the Wind and its sequel, I know there's going to be at least a 3rd book. But, like, where? And that is the only reason I haven't picked it up. Everyone says I'm going to love it. Everybody I know has given it 5 stars. It's, like, one of the best book duologies at this current moment that people have constantly recommended. And I just don't know if I want to commit to reading something knowing that it might not ever be finished. Like, that sucks. So I do think that I would rather just read a bunch of standalones than be stuck with unsatisfying series that just kind of make me bummed. Even if I get to pick the 5 series and, like, they're 5 series I love. Like, if I picked Fourth Wing and it was never finished, I wouldn't feel good about it. Like, I love Fourth Wing. I could probably reread just Fourth Wing alone multiple times and I'd be okay. Like, it's a contained enough story that's, like, cool. But if I was to continue and say Onyx Storm is the last and we never get the last 2 books, I don't think I couldn't handle it. I'd be like, what's the point? I'd be mad. So, I think that's my final answer. Going on to the mystery, would you rather always get book twists spoiled, like the plot twist, or they all have an open ending or the killer isn't caught? Interesting. I like an ambiguous ending if it's done well, if it's done intentionally. I don't mind if a killer's not caught. I don't read a whole lot of mystery, so I don't know if that's, like, a big part of, like, the satisfaction. Like, if a thriller if I read a thriller and the killer's not caught and you just never really fully know and it's kind of ambiguous, I don't think that would bother me as much as it might bother other people, like other people who like a whodunit or really love mystery. But in a thriller context, like, I don't really care. I'm kind of there for the fun. But at the same, no, I'd rather do that. I don't want my twist to be spoiled. Like, I can already predict a twist well enough that it's exciting when you can't see it's coming. It's exciting when, like, you can see the hints laid down and you're like, oh my gosh, it came true, or oh my gosh, what I thought was happening almost happened, but, like, there was just something different about it that, like, shocks you. That's, like, the fun of mystery thrillers. So I would rather there be an ambiguous ending and I don't know who the killer was. I would rather just be a little bit unsatisfied. And then we have historical romance, a genre I do not read whatsoever. So would you rather read a great love story but historical inaccuracies, or read a toxic or mad love story with great historical world building? I don't like historical that much, I'm gonna be honest. I'm actually, as we're filming this, I have started stalking Jack the Ripper, which is obviously set in, the 1800s, where stalking Jack the Ripper, the infamous serial killer who I don't think has been caught ever, this is an alternate history sort of situation. Like, the victims are different, the killer's going to be different, it's going to connect to these characters, obviously. I would rather read a bajillion versions of these than read historically accurate books, because I understand, like, taking parts of history and then, like, making it your own, changing things because history is flawed and you can improve upon it. I would way rather have a lot of historical inaccuracies and a bangin' romance. Like, the banter in this top tier, like, let's go. That sounds significantly more interesting to me. I also just love a love story. So, like, I would rather the love story be really good and I swoon over the characters and I enjoy the characters, and the historical context, the historical setting is the backdrop to my romance. I don't want to ever read, a historical where, like, that is the forefront of the story. It's just not personally to my taste. All right, next up we have, would you rather read a book with the best character, plot, writing, but none of the others? So you pick one. So I would rather read a book with the best plot, that's so hard. I don't really care a lot about writing. I'm gonna be honest. I can forgive a lot of writing. I can kind of just pretend that I understand what's going on and just, like, enjoy the story as it is. Obviously, blatantly bad writing does get annoying, and you could, stop reading a book for that reason. I find that I'm a little bit more forgiving because I understand that writing is hard and that I did not get a degree in anything and I would not be a good editor. I could be a good beta reader. I can tell you what I like and don't like about things and break a story down in that way, but I don't know if I could necessarily write a better book than other people. And then when it comes to characters are really important and I need to like them, but I don't like a character-driven story, which makes me want to say, like, I would rather have the best plot over those three, because plot is what, drives the story forward for me. That's what keeps me engaged. Like, there's a mystery in this that I'm interested in enough, but the characters are also, like, what makes it fun, if that makes sense. I don't know if it makes sense. I don't want a character-driven book, but I do need good characters. I find that being able to connect or empathize or have any type of care towards characters is very important. Like, bringing it back to futility, I didn't care about any of them. I disliked them so much that I didn't want to be in their heads. I didn't want to be around them. And so I find that having the best characters might be beneficial, because I feel like if it's the plot but it's bad characters, like, I don't know if I'd still care about the plot. Oh, it's so hard. I guess if it's a plot-driven story with the best characters, I would read it. But if it's a character-driven story, then I wouldn't be interested. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. And then there is, would you rather have a friend who loses your books or mistreats them, stains, breaks the spine, whatever? I am in a privileged position that I don't often release my books out of my house. I don't give them to too many people. When I do, it's typically, like, family or close friends. One thing that I'm privileged to do is that I can buy secondary copies. If I really love a book, I am not giving you my special edition. I will buy a paperback that you can destroy to your heart's content. I don't care. I would much rather my friend spill their coffee or spill their water. Like, I've had a old coworker who gave me back a book and she's like, I'm so sorry I spilled water on this. Do you want me to replace it? And I was like, no, it's fine. Like, I'm probably not going to reread the book either. It's just a little bit of water damage. Like, it's cool. I would rather you accidentally mistreat a book, or even if it's perfect. If you rip a page out, I'm annoyed, and I'll probably ask for you to repair it. But, like, if you break a spine, you read the book. If you spill water on it, whatever. It dries. That's fine with me. But if you lost my book, I'd be like, I'm never going to give you a book again. Like, trust is gone. I don't care what you say. I don't care if you replace it. You should have just bought it to begin with, because now I can't trust you. So I would rather you mistreat it than lose it. Oh, goodness. The next one's spicy. Would you rather never be allowed to visit a bookstore again, or be banned from all the libraries in the world? Okay, so here's an interesting thing. I have anxiety. I don't leave my house. I do leave my house, but I get scared to go to new places. So I don't go to my I don't go to my public library all that often because the parking situation is abysmal and it stresses me out. So I don't go, but I do use Libby. When I had Hoopla, I used Hoopla. It's gone. Libraries hate me right now. I'm being attacked. It really sucks. Stupid government's making resources too expensive, so I don't get to pay for out-of-state library cards anymore. But anywho, I don't really, like, go and visit other libraries. I know you can. It feels like I'm walking into other people's territory. Like, I'm not a resident, so I don't feel like I'm allowed to walk into into libraries, which is maybe silly. But if part of this is, like, you can't go to any library in the world and you also can't have access to the online resources, I would pick a library. I want to support the libraries. I want to give them my money if I can. I want them to know that I'm using them and like help the community because they do more than just provide books. But for me personally, I'm comfortable at a bookstore. I can go to my Barnes & Noble. I used to work across the street from there. So like I'm familiar with the territory. It doesn't make me as anxious as the library does. But I also don't need to go to a bookstore. I go maybe a couple times a year. Like it's not a thing that I do often. So I guess I would pick the library because of the e-resources that I could get. But at the same time, I'm not going anywhere. I think we've established that I'm just a homebody. I love being at home. Everyone hates your favorite books, or everyone loves the books you hate. I feel like this is just part of being in the book space, that we're all going to have different opinions. I know, hot take, crazy. We all have different opinions about books. I like that's such a fun series for me. It's a series that I've really enjoyed. I will be reading the next two while I anticipate the final book to come out. Like, I love it. Does everybody hate it? Yeah. Do I hear them? Do I agree with them? Do I validate them? Absolutely. I'm never going to be the person that gets offended that somebody doesn't look like a book that I love and vice versa. I feel more bad if I recommend a book to somebody hoping that they're going to like it and I give them a bad experience, if it triggered them, if it was just... Yeah, it's mostly like I don't want to trigger somebody. I don't want to give them a book recommendation and then like they're upset by it. So that would bother me. But like if I love a book and everyone hates it, like I love House of Salt and Sorrow. That's one of my favorite books of all time. I love The Death of Jane Lawrence. That's another favorite book of all time. People don't like it. That's just how it is. It doesn't bother me. I'm fine with that. I think that I would rather love a book that everyone hates because it's true to me. I guess I'd rather be positive about it though. Like I want to love the book that y'all hate. Sorry. I'll defend it. Okay, next, would you rather only listen to audiobooks narrated by the worst narrators, like Mickey Mouse, or only read physical books in terrible lighting? Interesting. Well, I find that reading a physical book in terrible lighting is going to strain and hurt my eyes more, and therefore I'm not going to do it. But sometimes a bad audiobook is a bad experience, but I do find that I can forgive it a lot easier. Like, Mickey Mouse at 3 times speed might kill me. Like, my ears might bleed. That could be a possibility. But I've listened to some bad narrators. Like, we all remember when Fourth Wing came out. The narrator had a cold and, like, still had to record. And, like, you could hear the sniffling. When you can hear, like, the clear swallowing. Not my favorite, but I can get through it. Like, I can deal with it. You speed that bad boy up and the pauses aren't so insufferable. I feel like I can handle a lot of bad audiobooks. But I don't know if I would read a book if the bad lighting was just always bad, because it would hurt my eyeballs, and then my eyeballs would be tired, and I would just not pick up the book. Okay, last two we've got, would you rather read a book in the same series or collection that don't match, or read books printed in a tiny font? I know that this might be a hot take, because a lot of people really want their shelves to be like all the same size, perfectly flat. I don't need that type of perfectionism on my shelves. I kind of like when it looks organic and a little bit messy and like staggered. Is it annoying to buy a series and all of the book heights are different? Absolutely. It's so stupid how it's the same book, same publisher, 1 year apart, and it's like an inch, like a half an inch, a quarter of an inch taller, and you're like, why? Why are we doing this? But it's the same when they like decide to change the cover halfway through the series. It's annoying when they don't match, but I can live. I don't have to buy that series. Like, I'll survive. But tiny font is annoying, and I don't read large print books because my vision is fine enough, but I can understand like the actual use of having a large print book. Like, that is beneficial to society. I don't know who would ever need a tiny print book. No one likes it. No one's happy when the font is bad. Nobody likes it when it's so small that like it hurts your eyes and you're squinting and you're like needing a magnifying glass. Like, no, that's too much. That's too much. I don't want to do that. I would rather my series be this height difference and just suck it up than have to read such small print that, again, it hurts my eyes and I don't want to read. And then we've got the last one, which is, would you rather never post another YouTube video or never watch YouTube ever again? I'm so sorry, y'all. I love making videos. I love this creative outlet. I love the community that I've been building. I can't wait to build more of this community and like have more friends and be more active and do more creative fun things and branch out. But guys, I bleed YouTube videos. I watch an unhealthy amount of YouTube videos daily. I had to put a 10-hour lock on my work days so that I'd stop watching so much YouTube after work. Like, I work for 9 to 10 hours a shift, and if I'm not listening to audiobooks the whole time, I'm just watching YouTube the entire time, I here's the thing. If I never watched a YouTube video again, I would get so much reading done. I would listen to so much music. I'd probably watch like way more Netflix. I haven't even caught up on Love is Blind. Like, I'm behind because I'm watching YouTube. But also, I love YouTube. I've been watching YouTube since I was like 12 or 13. Like, I wanted to be a YouTuber for so long. Look at me, I'm living the dream. I think I was just lonely as a kid too, and I think I'm lonely as an adult. I have plenty of friends, I'm fine. But I do find that it is a way to make more friends and have like a social outlet and be creative. So I think like posting to YouTube has done more good for me than me watching a lot of it. But selfishly, I love watching YouTube. I love seeing other people be creative. I love seeing other people's talking points. I love hearing what other people have to say and just like being nosy in their day-to-day life. I love and adore that so much. I don't know if I could part ways with that. Like, I don't think reality TV is at the point where I care enough the way I care about YouTube. So I think I'd have to delete the channel. I think I'd have to say goodbye. That would suck. But I think I would rather consume YouTube as much as I would love posting. There's other creative outlets for me that I could find. I love watching YouTube. I love the booktube space. I'm subscribed to over 1,000 booktube channels alone. I watch copious amounts of commentating and reaction channels, and I just, it's been too much of my life. So crazy ending. Not to say that I don't love posting. I think I've made that clear, but I do just genuinely love watching other people be creative and do cool things and like do the dang thing. Because I know how much work goes into YouTube. I know how hard it is, especially to be consistent, especially if like you're writing scripts and you're getting really good shots. Like, I'm just sitting here talking to a camera. We're not moving. We're not doing anything. We're just chatting. And so when people have like multiple shots and they're really good and they've got really good jokes, and I see all the work that goes into it, and that makes me like proud in a parasocial way of being like, wow, you're doing it. That's really cool. And I think that's amazing. And I would rather be a silent supporter of other people's dreams and journey. Wow. Okay. Dark take. Am I okay? I would rather support other people's dreams than like force myself. Obviously, this is all hypothetical. Would you rather? I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to keep making content. You can't get rid of me. But it is cool to see other people succeed in what they want to do. And it's cool that I'm doing it too. So I'm not discrediting myself. I'm in that cool group of I'm making YouTube videos. But yeah, that's kind of where we're ending. A weird note. I don't know what just happened there. But thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with me. I hope that you guys enjoyed this little tag video. I am trying to get a whole lot ready for Bookmas, which I'm doing from the 14th through the 25th. I've got some sprints coming up. We're going to be reading lots. We're going to be filming lots. It's going to be fun. But I will see you guys there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will see you guys in my next video very soon. Have a lovely day. Bye.